Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be for this variation star stitch crochet hat. If that's something you're interested in seeing, please stay tuned and we'll get right to it. For today's project, I am using 4-ply medium weight yarn in the color Shadow Blue, and I will also be using my 6mm crochet hook. Alright, so let's begin. So to begin, I'm going to start by making a chain long enough to fit snug around my head in a multiple of 3. So you want to make it not too tight and not too loose. So just snug. So maybe about, for an adult size, I'll say about 19 inches unstretched, which should give you 21 inches, which is standard head size. Or you can just measure it as you go. So go ahead and make your chain and then we will move on from that point. Okay, so I have done a total of 60 chains and I'm just going to flatten that and slip stitch into the beginning chain to close this into a ring or into a circle. Okay, so just like so. All right, and now I'm going to chain 1, and into each chain all the way around, I'm going to put 1 half double crochet. So this row is just 1 half double crochet into each chain stitch. So half double crochet is you wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the chain, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all 3 loops. And I will put 1 half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Okay, so go ahead and complete this row and I will meet you at the start of the next row. And we will be working from the band up. I don't think I've mentioned that, but we're working from the band up. All right, so go ahead and complete this row and then we will move on. Okay guys, so I have made it back around to my starting point, and now I'm just going to slip stitch into that first chain like so to end the row. All right, and now moving forward, I am going to chain 1, and we're working on the band, and it's going to be a ribbed stitch band. So for the first stitch, you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook, enter the stitch from the front like so, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all 3 loops. So we are working a front post half double crochet, then a back post half double crochet, and we'll alternate all the way around. So for a back post half double crochet, you wrap your yarn around your hook, enter the stitch from the back like so, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all 3 loops, and again back to a front post. So wrap the yarn around the hook, go under the stitch from the front, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all 3 loops, then back post half double crochet, enter the stitch from the back, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all 3 loops. So we'll alternate 1 front post half double crochet, 1 back post half double crochet. All the way around. Okay, just like so. And we'll just keep doing this all the way around, and then for another let's say 3 to 5 rows in total, or until you are satisfied with the width of your band. So basically when you come back around to the starting point, oh man, am I out of focus? when you come back around to the starting point, you're just going to follow the pattern. So the first one is going to be a front post half double crochet, then a back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, back post, and then you go all the way around and then repeat. And you will do that until you are satisfied with the width of your band. For me, I'll probably do about 4 or 5 rows. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see how it goes. And then once you've completed your band, then I will come back and we'll move on from there. So keep going. All right, guys, so I have finished my band, and this is measuring about 2 inches wide. So that part is totally up to you. You can make yours wider or more narrow. There is no set in stone measurement for the band. It's totally based on preference. So whatever works for you. All right, so moving on to the body of the hat. We will be doing a row of single crochets, but we won't be working into the stitches at the top. So we'll start with a chain 1, and then you will flip your stitches towards you. I hope this is clear. So that little bump, let me pull up my, so when you flip your stitches towards you, focus, there is a little bump behind the stitch. So these are the 2 loops at the top. And then behind there is a 3rd loop back here. That's where we're going to be working. I hope you can see this. So we won't be going through these loops here. We'll be going through this one back here. That's directly behind the 2 top loops. So that's where we'll be putting our single crochet. So, because we want these 2 loops to face out. So we're working behind the stitch. So I'll go into the loop, this little bump on top right here, behind the stitch right there, and I'll put 1 single crochet. Then I'll move over to the next one and I'll put another single crochet, and I'll do that all the way around for this row. The thing is, when I zoom in too much, it goes all fuzzy, but let's see. So we're working in this little loop behind the 2 stitches. Let me try. So you flip the stitches towards you, pick up that little bump right here. That's where we're putting our single crochet. So flip it over to you, pick up that little bump here, that little loop. Because we want, this is the effect that we're going for. We want both the 2 loops to be facing out. All right, so go ahead and complete this all the way around until you get back to the starting point, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so coming up to my last stitch of this row of single crochet, I'm just going to slip stitch into that chain 1 to end this row. Okay, and now for the next row, it's going to be a row of star stitches. Okay, so star stitches can be a little bit intimidating, but if you pay attention, it's not really that hard. Okay, so you want to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to go into the 2nd stitch from the hook, like so. Hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. That gives you 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to go into the third stitch down, like so, then hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. That gives you 3 loops on a hook. Now go into the base of that stitch where you slip stitch right there, so just below the third chain right here, and you're going to enter that stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, which gives you 4 loops on the hook. Now you're going to go into the very next stitch over right here, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. That gives you 5 loops on the hook. And then the next stitch over, you're going to go into that stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. And now that gives you 6 loops on the hook. You're going to hook your yarn and pull through all 6 loops and then chain 1 to close that star, just like so. Okay, and then moving on, we're gonna work in this stitch right here, right where we chain 1, right at the base of that stitch. That's where we're gonna begin working for our next star. So you go into that little hole right there, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. That's 2 loops. Then we're gonna go into the side of the star stitch, so right up here, right into the side. I just go behind those 2 loops right there, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, and that gives me 3 loops. Now I'm going to go into the base right here where that leg is coming out of, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. That gives me 4 loops, and then I'm going to work in the next 2 new stitch over here. So I'm going to go into the first one, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. Then into the next one, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, and that gives me 6 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to hook the yarn, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. So that should be very simple to follow. So basically we're working 1 stitch in here, 1 in the side of the stitch, 1 in the base of that stitch. So all in all, in the completed star stitch, we're working 3 stitches. So 1 here, 1 inside, 1 at the base. And then we work into the next 2 new stitches after this star stitch, which will give us our 6 loops. So I will show you that again. So we're going to work first in that little hole right there, right where we did our chain. And that gives us 2 loops on our hook. Then we're going to go into the side of the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through. That gives us 3 loops. Then we're going into the base of that stitch, like so. Hook the yarn, pull through and pull up for 4 loops. And then we'll work in these 2 stitches that follows. So into the first one, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up. Then into the second one, hook the yarn, pull through, pull up, giving us 6 loops on our hook. Then you hook the yarn, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. So I will try to zoom in and show you that again. Hopefully it doesn't go blurry. So that's our completed star stitch. So now we're going to work right here. Focus. I changed my background hoping it would focus, but it's doing the same thing. Okay, so we go here, into the side, into the base. So that's in here, then into the side. I'm sorry if I'm coming out of the frame. Then into the base right here. Then into our first stitch after the star stitch. Then into the second stitch. Then hook the yarn, pull through all 6 loops and chain 1. Okay, and that will be our star stitch for this entire row. So again, into that first chain space right there. Okay, so mine got a little loose. So we're going here, right where we chain one, and we go into the little space that's below the chain, right there, then into the side of the stitch, then into the base of the stitch. Then we'll work into the next stitch, and then into the second one. Hook the yarn, pull through all 6 loops, and chain one. Okay, so you'll do this all the way around, until you've completed this row that we are calling row 2 of our body. So the single crochet in the back bump was row 1, star stitch is row 2. Okay, so go ahead and complete row 2, and then we'll move on to row 3. All right, so coming up to the end of my row 2 of my star stitch, I'm just going to do my last one. So 1 through there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Chain 1, and then I will slip stitch in the top of the chain where we started to end this row. And don't worry about this hole that has formed right here. We will close that once we've completed our project. Okay, so for row 3, we're going to start with a chain 1, and this row is going to be a row of half double crochet. So we will be working 1 half double crochet in the side of our star, 1 in the center, 1 in the side, 1 in the center, 1 in the side, 1 in the center, and that will be the repeat for this row, just 1 half double crochet all the way around. So again, we'll start by putting 1 here, focus, 1 here in the side of our star stitch, then 1 in the center right where that hole is, and again 1 half double crochet in the side of the next star, then 1 in the center, 1 in the side, 1 into that center hole, 1 in the side, and for this I'm only going into the first 2 loops. So I'm going below the 2 loops that are there. Okay, just like so. So 1 in the center, 1 into the next side right here, then 1 into the center, 1 into the side. Okay, and that's it for this row. So go ahead and complete 1 row of half double crochet all the way around, and I will meet you at the start of the next row. So coming up to my last row of half double crochet, just doing my last one right here, and then I will slip stitch into that chain 1 spot to end the row. Okay. All right, and that will be the repeat for this row. So it will be a row of single crochet in the back bump, a row of star stitches, and then a row of half double crochet, and then repeat. So after the row of half double crochets, it will be the row of single crochet in these back bumps behind the stitches. So you'll start with a chain 1 and then 1 single crochet in each stitch or behind each stitch all the way across. And remember, you're not working into the 2 top loops. We are working, so this is the loop on top. I have turned them towards me, so now I am working behind. These are the loops I'm working behind. Just like so, with 1 single crochet all the way around. Okay, and then once I come back around, I will slip stitch into that chain 1 to end the row. Next, I will do my star stitches. You know, with the star stitch, you chain up 3, then work in the second chain from the hook, then the third, then go back into the base, and so forth. So all you got to do is rewind the video back to row 1, and then you repeat row 1, 2, and 3. So row 1 is the single crochet into the back bump, then the star, then the half double crochet. And you just keep repeating that about 4, 5 or 6 times, I guess, until you have the desired depth of your hat. For me, I want to have maybe 5 rows, 5 of these 3-row repeats, including this one. And then I will come back and show you how to close off the top of your hat. Okay, so just keep going. Finish your row of single crochet into the back loops behind the stitch. Then do your star stitch row, then your half double crochet row. And then I will meet you once I have completed the depth of my hat, and we will move on to, I guess, decreasing the top of the hat. All right, so just keep going and I'll see you at that point. All right, so I have done 4 rows of these 3-row repeats, and then I am on the 5th row, on the row of stars. So at this point, the next row would be the row of half double crochet. But for that row, I'm going to start decreasing. It doesn't matter if you have more, like if your hat is wider than mine, doesn't matter. It's totally up to you how many rows you want to go. If you want to make it really slouchy or you want to make it really fitted, then that will determine the amount of rows the amount of 3-row repeat that you have. So at this point, I ended on a row of star stitch, and then in the next row of half double crochets is where I'm going to put my first decrease row. So I'm going to start by chaining 1, and for half double crochets we usually put 1 in the side of our star here, then 1 in the center. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go into the side of my star stitch right there and into the center. So wrap the yarn around the hook as if I'm going to do a half double crochet, go into the stitch, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, then go into the center, hook the yarn, pull through and pull up, hook the yarn, pull through all 4 loops on my hook, and then I'll do that all the way around. So I am half double crocheting 2 stitches together. So I'll go into the side of the star stitch like so, then go into the center, hook the yarn, pull through all 4 loops, and repeat. So I am making each half double crochet into 1 stitch. just like so. Okay, and I will do that all the way around. So it's still a row of half double crochet, just that I am half double crocheting 2 stitches together as I go, so that the top of the hat can start coming together. Okay, so go ahead and complete this first row of decrease, and then I will meet you at the beginning of the next row and we will move on. Coming up to the end of decrease row number 1, I will just slip stitch into that chain to end the row. Okay, so that was a row of half double crochet. Now for the next row, it's going to be the row of single crochet into the back bump. We will still be decreasing, so you're going to start with a chain 1. So these are our stitches on top. Instead of working in just 1, we're going to be picking up 2 of these loops behind our stitches and single crocheting them together, just like so, all the way around. Okay, and that will be it for decrease row number 2. All right, so go ahead and complete this row, single crocheting 2 stitches together, and then I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so at the end of decrease row number 2, this is what the top of my hat looks like. Just a small opening, and at this point I will just, after slip stitching, just pull up a long enough tail to sew the top of the hat closed. So let me just grab my scissors. Okay, and I'll grab my needle. Okay, and I'll just weave in and out of the row of single crochet all the way around. Just like so. Pulling it as I go to make sure it's closing. Okay, just like that. And then just to secure, I'll go across a couple times, just to make sure I don't have a hole in the top. Uh-oh, my needle came loose. Okay, and once I am satisfied with that, I will sew up the back. Remember, right where you had your star stitches, you have some holes right here. So I will put my needle down the center and flip this over. Okay, and to close these holes, basically, all I'm going to do is just go through and pretty much pull the work together, just so I don't have that gap in my stitches. Anywhere I have a gap, I'll just put my thread, put the yarn through and tighten it so to close those holes down the back. Okay. Just like so. Okay, just like this, all the way down. Pulling all those holes together. And there you have it. So all I do now is just weave in my ends, and this is the finished hat. So with the back sewn, you can't really see all the holes that were there before. Okay, but this would be my finished hat. Okay, so to this you can add, so this would be the finished hat. And to this, once you weave in your ends and everything, you could add a pom-pom on top if you like, or you can leave it like this, depending on your preference. Okay guys, and that's the finished hat. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Bye.